Welcome to the Tail of the Dragon, or US 129. This is in Tennessee, and it crosses over into the North Carolina border for about the last mile. This is the head of the Dragon. This is an 11-mile road with 318 very sharp turns. Here you have two BMW M3s. The one in front is mine. This is a 2015 F80 M3. This vehicle weighs right at 3,491, so let's say 3,500 pounds. The green car is a newer edition. This is a G80, and this is an M3CS. It's amazing how far these things have come. So mine's a 15. I believe Sean's is a 23, if I'm not mistaken. So my car is rear-wheel drive only. Sean's car is all-wheel drive, and with the push of a button, he can become rear-wheel drive, which is really insanely cool that you can have the best of both worlds. I will say that his car, I believe, is 100% stock and produces, I want to say it's right at 543 horsepower, whereas mine, when it was first created, the base version had 425 horsepower. Mine has been highly upgraded, so the horsepower is roughly equal on these two cars. His might be even a little bit more. I'd say his is definitely faster in a straight line with his paddle shifters and automatic transmission. The F80 I have is a manual transmission. The stock claim 0 to 60 on my car is about 3.8 to 4.1 seconds, depending on transmission, launch, etc. His is 3.4 seconds, so they've gotten that down pretty quick. Now, my car was very high performance for its day, 10 years ago. Sean's car comes with a lot more tuning for track. It's got a carbon roof, carbon bonnet, it's got different camber, different adaptive dampers, different suspension, but all that's been upgraded on the F80 that I have. So mine is probably pretty close, maybe even more advanced in suspension and handling than a stock 23, M3CS. I will say I've been driving with Sean for many years, and he is an impeccable driver. This guy is great. He's very quick. He keeps up just fine. It is probably cheating a little bit. I am an HPDE track instructor, so I've been driving a lot longer. Hey, look, there goes another car just like mine. I think that one was a Silverstone. There's a lot of those out there. Mine is actually a Moonstone. It is a silver, but in the right sunlight, it turns kind of bronze, which is why I wrapped only half of the car. We found a wrap called Gold Dust by M3, and it looks matte black, but when the sun hits it, it sparkles like a Ranger bass boat and has a lot of bronze and almost a green flake to it. I'm not sure how true this is, but BMW told me that there's only 62 of these known left on the planet. It has a little custom plate on the motor saying it's some kind of a special edition, custom color, or something like that. As far as the upgrades on my car, it does have some custom wheels on it. It also has tires. I have, I usually run Cup 2s, but right now I'm trying out a new Continental ECSO2, something like that. I forgot what it's called. I believe we have the same tire sizes. I'm not 100% sure. I do know he runs 275 on the front. I also upgraded. Mine was 255, I believe, and now it's 275 35 19 in the front and 295 35 19 in the rear. I do have upgraded racing pads, Pagid. I don't know how you say that. I say Pagid, but that's what they say when you're into the phone. I've been told that's wrong, but I use RSL 29 race pads. I do have it on H&R lowering springs with a Hotchkiss sway bar, SPL rear sway bar end links. It has dual tuner mount differential plates with ECS poly diff bushings. All this was done by Eurospec in Louisville, Tennessee, by the way, an awesome shop. If you have any kind of car, I'm sure they work on, but they specialize in any kind of European car. I do also have the fenders rolled on this Fast Tech in, I believe that's in Alcoa or Maryville, Tennessee. They rolled the fenders and shaved the fender wells so that suspension, tire, and everything that we changed would fit well. It also has upgraded brake lines, and it has Motul 660 brake fluid. I think it's a RBF 660. So hopefully the brake fluid doesn't overheat and start boiling. I've had that happen on a track, and that was not fun when your brakes go out at about 190 miles an hour in a straight. You're trying to brake before the turn. The F80 also has an active AutoWorks catless mid-pipe. It has VRSF catless downpipes. It does have stock exhaust. so it's quite loud, and those pops you're hearing really don't do it justice on this video, but in person it sounds like an assault rifle. So much though that I've been pulled over 3 times in 3 different states for shooting a gun out of a car window. When they pulled up and realized it was just the exhaust, they were laughing. But the F80 also has an upgraded intercooler. That doesn't add any horsepower on this car. It already had a top mount intercooler, but by doing that, the stock one apparently has plastic valves on the inside, and when you increase the horsepower, those are known to blow. So mine does have the upgraded metal CTS intercooler. It also has SSR intakes with a metal mesh. I have a cotton filter for the winter. Actually, I believe I took those off. They made a nice whooshing sound, but they also really tried to heat soak the engine. All the heat that's going on under that hood was being sucked into the intakes, and I believe it was actually killing power on a track. So I think we just have drop-in filters now. I do also have a custom tune by Dom, so if you guys have a BMW and you need to get it tuned, I've got a few people that do this. Eurospec, I believe, also tunes them now. I did not know them at the time, so I have somebody else that had tuned my car. And I will say that this guy tuned it night and day. One of my friends has an M5 competition that is also tuned, and we did a roll race one day, and he just pulls and pulls away from me, and just after changing the tune from a shelf tune to a custom tune, the M3 walked away from the M5 competition, and you can see that here on this channel as well. I believe I'm wearing a Santa Claus suit in the car. It was December, so I do also have, I believe it's called a CSF heat exchanger. You guys know I drive. I can drive anything, but I do not work on cars, so hope I'm getting all this right. Then I have a VRSF J pipe installed, and I just upgraded the rear differential. Well, Eurospec upgraded my differential. Everything else that's done to my car is pretty much just for looks. You know, the chimes are different, the lights when you open the door, stuff like that. Also, something that helps the handling, I do have midway camber plates. Eurospec put that on. And then the alignment that I have is a negative 3.5 in the front and negative 2.4 in the rear. So more of a really advanced track setup. I wasn't sure how it was going to do on the Dragon because this is very tight, very technical. It's not a high-speed road like what you would see on a racetrack, you know, 100 plus miles an hour. And then I have some coating done. I do have GTS suspension settings, GTS steering, and also I have Euro MDM. So these cars have basically traction on or traction off. Then they have something called M dynamic mode, and that allows you to basically slide a little bit before traction kicks in. And my understanding is there's a few different variations of MDM. MDM is basically a specific traction and stability control setting within the DSC, or the dynamic stability control in the BMW M cars. And what it does, it allows for more wheel slip, greater yaw, a less intrusive steering intervention, and it does a really good job of balancing safety and, we'll say, spirited driving. I don't know the exact millimeters and degrees and all these things, but I will say that the base model M3, let's say when you start to drift in this your right-hand turn coming up, you see Sean kind of sliding a little bit. If he has MDM on, and he does, then a brake impulse would be sent to one of the rear tires that's sliding to help him regain control, make sure he doesn't slide off this mountain or into the mountain, right? Because it's, I don't know, a couple thousand feet down there. I'm sure the trees will stop you though. But his, let's say, would allow you to drift out 10% before it really starts to help you. And what that does, it kills your power. So when you're trying to floor it out of the corner, you lose power. Then you have a competition series. So like an M3 base, then there's an M3 competition. The competition allows you to, drift the car sideways a little bit more before it really helps you. Then you also have a GTS, and then you have the CS now. And then there's something that I don't believe they sell on a vehicle in the United States. It's called Euro MDM. And that allows the car to slip a lot more sideways, we'll say 30% more, before it really kicks in and tries to help you regain control. And again, I'm making up those numbers. I really don't know. I just know that I have had it on different settings. And with Euro, I had to relearn how to drive that car because it was very drifty. It's very easy to get away from you, and you get pretty sideways before it even kicks in and tries to help. So basically, in my car, traction is completely off until I really just go sideways, and then it'll kick in and help me a little bit. But enough about the cars, just sit back, enjoy the road. This is the Dragon. We're coming up on the famous gravity cavity. A lot of people crash right here. It throws your car down. I think it's like negative, I don't know, 1.82 Gs if you hit that really hard. You couldn't hear me, but I drifted into the turn and through the turn and then drifted back out of the turn. Rear tires squilling the whole time. This is an insane road, y'all. This is also really not a fair competition. Sean lives in Chicago where they have, 18 lanes wide of just straight roads and no turns. And I live down here and I'm a tour guide at the Tell the Dragon surrounding areas in the Smokies and Appalachian Mountains. I have been tour guiding here for roughly 20 years, a little over 20 years. So I know this road very well. Believe it or not, all 318 turns have a name. It's pretty bad when you're going through all the turns and you're saying the names in your head. I will say you have some pretty views on this road, but you really need to focus on the road. You do not take your eyes off of the road. It is so sharp and technical that if you make one mistake, you could hurt someone or yourself. You see how far down that ravine is there, or the cliff on the right. I mean, I've seen people go down this. They have to get a tow truck, and literally it looks like someone killed a shark out in the ocean. It's hanging upside down. I've seen Corvettes, I've seen Ferraris, I've seen all kinds of cars hanging upside down, behind a tow truck from making one mistake. The biggest mistake is the yellow line. I get close to my yellow line sometimes to set up for a turn, but you have to really look through the turn and see what's coming at you. But the number one rule is keep it between the mustard and the mayo. If you cross over that mustard, you can see all the vehicles coming at us. You're probably going to hit somebody. And I can't tell you how many times I go through here and I have seen cars come through here from other states that don't, have a lot of turns, like Florida. And I was sitting on the side of the road with David Allison, one of the photographers here, and there was a Nissan GTR that came through, and I'm not joking, in a blind turn like this one right here, he had all four tires completely in the wrong lane. And I mean, we're just sitting here waiting for something to come around that turn. So keep it in your lane. I will say also, even if you're with a group, don't try to keep up with somebody. Just drive your own drive or ride your own ride until you get to know the flow of this road. It's kind of a pattern. It's just sort of a back and forth, right? Left and right, left and right. But then it'll trick you. So as soon as you learn that pattern, it'll give you a right, and then a left. So you have got to keep your eyes on the road. I usually don't have my radio on. I don't touch a radio. I don't touch anything but the steering wheel, obviously, and my gear shifter, since I'm in a manual. I thought about trading my car, but gosh, I just cannot get rid of it. That thing is insane. I also have a couple other fun cars. One of my other fast cars is a 23 Corvette. It's a C8 Z51, so more track-focused C8. And it can't touch the BMW. Oh, he's going to pour out in front of Sean. He was getting over to let me go by because he saw that I was approaching faster, which is very nice. That's one of my other big pet peeves. If you're on this road, if you look on the road, you'll see signs that actually say, pull off. And there's an arrow. And then after that arrow, there's a big concrete padded area like that right there where you can simply pull off, allow faster traffic to go by. Dang, dude, you're in the wrong lane a lot. So this guy's nice. I don't know if he's been there before or lives there, but regardless, that's awesome that he gets over quickly and lets faster traffic by. And believe it or not, if you can't maintain the speed limit of 30 miles an hour, I have seen police pull up beside you and literally tell you, if you can't maintain the speed limit, pull over and allow faster traffic to pass you. It's so annoying whenever you see a Harley on this road or a minivan, and they have a line of 118 cars behind them, just kind of running everybody else's drive here. Pull over, let people go by. We're now approaching the tail of the Dragon, and on the left you have a store, you have food, they've got a restaurant, restrooms, all kinds of stuff, shirts, stickers, and everything else you might need. They also have gas. On the right is the Killboy store, another souvenir shop. They've got all kinds of fun stuff in here, drinks, snacks, coffee, whatever you might need, restrooms. Also a really cool big metal dragon over here to the right. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it from this camera angle, but a lot of people like to get behind this big metal dragon, and there he is. and get their picture taken. So anyway, that is the tail of the dragon, all the way from the head to the tail. That's Todd. He's my neighbor. It's his first time here, and he did it in one of the fastest cars I have, or the fastest car I have. So he just had quite a ride. So we had a lot of fun. Thanks for watching. I will catch you guys in the next video.